Welcome to KL Now's Indian Super League 2021-2022 Tactical and Stats Profile Series. Today, we will take a look at how ATK Mohun Bagan could possibly set up under Antonio Lopez Havas. Talking about past history of the club, ATK Mohun Bagan made their ISL debut last year after two clubs, Mohun Bagan and ATK FC, merged together last season. The AS12 ATK were three-time ISL champion, including twice under Antonio Lopez Havas. Talking about Mohun Bagan, they have a rich history, and before merging with ATK to play in ISL, they were also I-League champions. Let's talk about their head coach. Antonio Lopez Havas will be at helm at ATK Mohun Bagan for the second consecutive season. The Spaniard has gathered a lot of experience in the ISL, have managed ATK and FC Pune City in past, a two-time ISL winner himself. The Spaniard also holds the records for the most wins by any manager in Indian Super League history. Earlier this year, he also guided ATK Mohun Bagan FC in the AFC Cup, helping them to get past in the group stage and reaching the interzonal semi-final where they lost against FC Nasif. Havas has earned the reputation of pragmatic defensive style and oftenly playing with the three-man backline. His teams relies on strong defending and counter-attacking football and making it difficult for their opposition to penetrate them, and then they just sit back and use the pace of Roy Krishna and David William in the past. Now this season it's going to be something different because they can just use four of their foreigners unlike the previous season. So their Indian players need to step up their game if ATK Mohun Bagan need to put the challenge for the title again. Before moving ahead, let's talk about ATK Mohun Bagan squad. Till now, officially, they have not released their final squad like other clubs. But of course, these are the names on your screen, which we know that will be part of the screen. There might be some young player joining in, some young players going out like other clubs have done. So let's, not take this as an official squad, but this is their squad looks like. Lots of changes. Aminder Singh has come in the team. Ashutosh Mehta has come in the team. Deepak Tangri, who has impressed everybody with his performance with India Under-23, has also joined them. In midfield, of course, there is Hugo Momo. I think the biggest signing of this transfer window by any club. Then there is a former Finland international who's playing in the Euros when he was signed for ATK Mohun Bagan, Johnny Koako. So other than that, I think they have Roy Krishna, they have David Williams, they have also signed Liston Calasso. So these are good addition in overall, already a very good squad. And let's talk about the key addition now. Talking about key addition, I think Hugo Momo is the biggest key addition to any ISL squad this season. I think because of not just his profile, but because of what he has done in the league. For Mumbai, for FC Goa in past, now ATK Mohun Bagan fans will hope that he will, will provide similar kind of performance for them also. There was some controversy when he didn't join the team on the same time other foreigners had joined, but ultimately I think the club and the player put the statement on the social media saying, there was the unforced reason because he's not able to travel. Now he's in India. And ATK Mohun Bagan fans will hope that he will provide that quality which they need in that midfield. Hugo Momo is two-time ISL League Shield winner, and he moved to ATK Mohun on the record transfer fee and the 5-year contract, which we have not heard in past in Indian football, especially for foreigners. We have seen Indian players signing these long deals. But ATK Mohun Bagan made the habit of signing these important players in our 5-year deals. They have signed Subhashish Bose in past, then Aminder Singh. Now, of course, Hugo Momo has done something very similar. I think it's good to protect the investment and the value of the player. If any foreign clubs come interested, they have to pay the transfer fee. So I think it's a good strategy to put the 5-year contracts to your key important players because that protect the value of the club on the long term. Let's talk about his ISL career stats we have taken. So he has played 58 ISL games, 19 goals and 24 assists. I think for a number 10, that's if you add both of them, that's nearly a 43 goals and assists in 58 games. Which is very good. Passing, talking about his passing and his accuracy is 2,429 passes he attempted, out of which 83% is accurate, which is also again very handy considering he plays that advanced midfielder role where he need to take a risk with his passing. So I think 83% is good accuracy for that. He created 81 chances. So 58 games, 81 chances, nearly if you calculate, I think 1.5 or 6 chances per game. Expected goals 16, so which tell you that he's a good finisher also. So it's not that many number 10s in the world were not a good finisher, but Hugo is a very good finisher. His expected assist is 17 and his actual assist is 24, which also tell you that he has played with quality forwards up front in Mumbai, in FC Goa. That's why these numbers are actual assist is higher than expected assist. Another important number is net expected assist. Net expected goals is 15, which is plus 15. So which tell you that whatever matches he has played, he has team done well, won those games, but also have a positive goal difference also. And I think other than all other attributes for a midfield, one of the attribute I have to highlight is dribbling ability. He has attempted 362 dribbles, out of which 66% were successful. I think Hugo performance, considering that they're just playing with 4 foreigners now, will be the most important, I think, alongside Roy Krishna for ATK Mohun Bagan for the upcoming ISL season. Second player in the list is Finland international Joni Kakko. I think this signing made headlines in Europe also, as player was playing in Euros when ATK Mohun Bagan announced his signing. I think great addition to the squad, if you ask me, considering that the experience of him playing at the international stage with Finland, with various clubs he have played. Of course, he is not at the prime of his career, but they needed somebody to be in that kind of midfield role, which Johnny will play. He can score goals, he can provide assists, but he will provide the stability in the midfield, which somebody like Hugo can't provide you, because Hugo is an advanced midfielder. I think Johnny will see more of in a number 8 role, but in past his stats shows that he can score goals, he can provide assists. So I think another great addition to ATK Mohun Bagan, already very good squad. He is a versatile midfielder. Joni Kakko has played in various positions throughout his career, but I think now he will settle for the number 8 role, and he is a very hard-working player. Overall his stat shows that that he will put the effort in midfield. It's not like that he just want to be part of the final third. He will track back his opponent attackers also. But considering the age, I think he will play that number 8 role, be between the number 6 and number 10, and provide the stability in that midfield. Let's talk about his numbers. Since 2019-20 season, I have taken basically from 2019-20 season, because before that he was a different player. Now he's a different player. He was involved in lots of goals before that, but still 78 matches he has played since then. Scored 14 goals, 9 assists, which is not a bad, considering the age, considering the level he was playing. Also created 41 chances. His expected goals were 16, so which is very normal for a midfield to have a lesser goals, actual goals than the expected goals. Passing, which I'm a bit surprised, but I think wherever he's played a more of an advanced playmaker role, so his passing accuracy might go better, but he's attempted 2,195 passes, out of which 74% were accurate. So I think another great addition to the squad, and we'll talk about third player in the list, is the Indian international Aminder Singh, who has replaced their another amazing goalkeeper in the team, Arindam Bhattacharya. Arindam Bhattacharya won the Golden Glove last season, and look what ATK Mohun Bagan has done. They have signed Mumbai City FC captain, who won the double with them, Aminder Singh, to replace him. Bit younger also, so which means he can play for next 3-4 years for them. So their goalkeeper department look very settled with Aminder Singh. Aminder Singh has been competing with Gurpreet Sindhu for a first spot in the national team and in the ISL also. Overall, his stats and everything is always neck to neck with Gurpreet since Gurpreet has came back to India. Goalkeepers, you can't judge anything from stats, but since 2019-20 season, basically since then he has played 41 games, and out of which 14 were clean sheet. He has made 103 saves and 143 catches. So I think stats doesn't tell you the quality of any goalkeeper, but Aminder Singh is amazing addition to this ATK Mohun Bagan. As I said for Hugo, as I said for Johnny, already very good squad, because we have seen them doing very well, dominating ISL, dominating other teams. So I think Aminder Singh will provide them that leadership role in the Indian players, which you can say they might be missing, because they had Pritham, they had Pritham Kotal in similar kind of role, but I think adding Aminder Singh in that leadership core group will help their youngsters and other players to get familiarized with each other and then play according to different situations. You need a goalkeeper who can manage your back line, and especially considering they play with back 3, back 5 according to situation. So you will need a good communicator to do so. Before moving ahead, let's quickly talk about the key exclusion which have been taking place at ATK Mohun Bagan. I think one of the most important is, of course, starting with Sandesh Jhingan. who left them because has a releasing clause in his contract with them that he can sign for the any club outside India, and he has went to Croatia to play there. Have not played any games till now as we are recording this video. I think that they have still not replaced him properly. Deepak Tangdi has come in, but he's played his most of career center defensive midfielder. We have seen him playing centre back for India under 23 team, but I think Sandesh Shingan will be missed by ATK Mohun Bagan in this upcoming season. Second in list, another star player, Edu Garcia, who left them. No new contract, of course, because they have Hugo Momo now. So Edu Garcia have left, and I think he's done well with ATK Mohun Bagan whenever he got the chances. Now he has joined Hyderabad FC. Another player who have joined another ISL side is Javi Hernandez. He has left. Not left again, no new contract offered. He has left them and joined Odisha FC, I think, where he might play a bit advanced role. So because you can see Edu Garcia going replaced by Johnny, you can see Javi Hernandez going replaced by Hugo. So I think on paper looks like they have got a better players to replace these players, but still these players have been part of their team for last few seasons and done well for them. It's going to be interesting that how this new midfield of ATK Mohun Bagan set up in this upcoming season. As we talked about that the midfield will be key for them in the upcoming season, especially considering they have rebuilt that midfield. Talking about Habas, I think he will go with back 3, back 5, whatever you call, because I think that's the system which had got success with ATK Mohun Bagan. I think remembering his Pune City days, he not used that system much, but at ATK Mohun Bagan, at ATK and then ATK Mohun Bagan, he used this system a lot. As you can see on the screen, I think we have in the second goal. There's no question there. I think we will have somebody like Thierry, Subhashish Bose and Pritam Kotal making that back 3. I think not many options. You can see Deepak Tangdi coming in between, but I personally feel Deepak might be competing with Lenny for that number 6 spot. I have picked the kind of the best 11. Of course, you will see youngsters making the impact. On the wings, I have Parveer Das over Ashutosh Mehta. I still feel Parveer Das is better wing back than Ashutosh Mehta. Ashutosh Mehta might be better defensive as a right back, but wing back, I think Parveer Das you need Parveer Das to provide the creativity from wing. Left hand side, Michael Susiraj is back from injury, which ATK Mohun Bagan missed last season. I think he will back playing the left wing back role. In midfield, you have Indian international Lenny Rodriguez, then you have Finland international Johnny Kakko and Hugo Momo in the midfield. Up front, no David Williams this time because just 4 foreigners are allowed. So you have Roy Krishna and Manveer Singh. So I think this is the important season for Manveer Singh also. Straight away, going into the movement here, I will just show you before how they will defend. That's the important for them. You will see them dropping these 3 centre back, dropping deep alongside Parveer Das and alongside Michael Susiraj also dropping deep, and then you have somebody like Lenny Rodriguez, Johnny shielding that midfield, giving the freedom to Hugo Mo to be that outlet and use these spaces which you can see on screen for Roy Krishna and Manveer Singh. Both have the good pace, both are very physical, even they are not that tall. Roy Krishna I think Manveer Singh is taller than Roy Krishna, but both are very physical strikers. We have seen them doing this season in ISL. And you will see them using Johnny as a quick as a midfielder, taking ball from the defense and taking that ball forward and carrying that ball towards Hugo Momo. And then the movements you will see accordingly. You will see Michael Susiraj stretching that on the wing. Parveer Das will not go as forward as Michael Susiraj because Susiraj is winger by nature. But you will see Parveer Das providing that in depth, and then you will see Hugo Momo. He's a very good ball carrier, carrying that ball in midfield, which will allow them to push their team up because Hugo is like a magnet. He attracts players towards him, he attracts fouls towards him, and which give your team a tactical freedom to push the defense upwards, which will help while Hugo Mo is having the ball, and then use Michael Susiraj, Parveer Das on the wings, to put those crosses for Manveer Singh and Roy Krishna. Another thing which I have discussed this last season, I will say again, this both Subhashish Bose and Pritam Kotal has ability to go forward and just go forward, not fully forward, but in between the say Parveer Das and Susiraj in those midfield to make that midfield situation for them, and then have somebody like Lenny, who is a good defender, Thierry to defend, and when these for the game which they will dominate a lot. So I think that will be very important. And then you'll see Pritam Kotal and Subhashish Bose and Parvidas and Johnny in that midfield four kind of system, leaving Lenny and Tiri behind to defend, and then of course I have Hugo, Manveer Singh, Roy Krishna, Sushi Raj in and around those attacking areas. So I think this is good setup for them. Tried and tested, nothing new here to discuss. We have discussed about this system back in past also. Now let's talk about what can be the other system which they do. I think playing back four, maybe this is the season, where they can play back four because no Sandesh Jhingan. So I think still then you need to play Pritam Kotal in that back four. Now here's an interesting selection concern because, and I said Deepak Tangdi will be playing for those two spots, centre back at the number 6. But let's see, I think how season goes. So I'm just starting with the best players. Subhashish Bose as a left back, Ashutosh Mehta as a right back, I think a bit better than Parvidasan defensively. Then you have Pritam Kotal playing as centre back. Then you have Lenny Rodriguez, Johnny in that midfield pivot system. Up ahead they have Hugo Momo, and on wings you have Liston and Sushi Raj. No Manveer Singh. I don't want to see Manveer Singh playing on the right wing. If you have somebody like Liston Klasov, for whom you have paid crores of money, use him. Let's use Manveer Singh for centre forward role, and up front you have Roy Krishna. You can use David Williams there, you can beat Manveer Singh there, depending on situation. I think that's what the kind of depth they have in terms of the quality. The Indian players, most of the Indian players are Indian international, by the way, and most of the foreigners are very good foreigners, one of the highest paid foreigners in the league. They should not feel any difficulty to play this system, and I think 4-2-3-1, you can see a triangle in midfield of Lenny and Johnny and Hugo, and simple movement is there. If they have a ball, they list in class of pace and trickery from the right hand side, Michael Suchira directness from the left hand side. Then you have somebody like the ball carriers like Hugo, Johnny, and then use Sushi Raj and Liston on those alongside Roy Krishna, who are playing that. And then you can see 3 blocks here, Sushi Raj, Liston and Roy Krishna with up front 3. Then you have Bose, Ashutosh Mehta, Hugo and Johnny playing that midfield kind of a role. And then you have 3 defenders back, Tiri, Lenny Rodriguez and Pritam Kotal. So I think their tactical system is not very complicated, it's very simple. They will play back 5, but I think 4-2-3-1 can be the system which might provide them more stability, because that will allow them to use somebody like Liston Klaso on wings, Michael Sushira on attacking position. You have stability of Ashutosh Mehta and Subhashish Bose on the fullback position. I think only question mark in that 4-2-3-1 is the centre back. Will Pritam Kotal will be comfortable playing in that one centre back, playing at the two centre back role, not in the back 3. So I think that's the only question mark. That's where they might miss somebody like Sandesh Jhingan. So I think these are their tactical system. I think they could try a different system. I'm not sure they can, but I think these are the 2 systems which they will try, because with Hugo you need to play with number 10, give him freedom. So these 2 systems give them that ability to to play. Another thing which they do is include another midfielder, in their squad, and put Hugo in the. One thing they can do is, talking about their squad, they have somebody like, SK Sahil, who can play that number 6, number 8 role, with Ananda Singh, Karl. I have not talked about another foreigner who played for them for a while, Karl McHugh, who can also play that role of Johnny. So they have command depth in each position. Deepak Tangdi joining them, so he can play number 6, he can play number centre back, and of course up front you have David Williams, Roy Krishna, Manu. So the squad wise, I think looks the position they have kind of signed backup for each position. Good backup, mostly Indian international, junior international in form of the Indian players, and good foreigners. These foreigners will fit into any ISL team if they want it. So I think overall tactically looks like the system they're going to play is 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, whatever you call. Now let's talk about the key Indian players straight away. And I think before moving to key Indian players, key players to watch, and then we will talk about the young players to watch in this ATK Mohun team for upcoming season, who will have an important role for them if they want to win this trophy again. We already talked about Hugo Mo, Johnny, because he has a new addition to the team. So we are talking about other key players they have in this squad. I think number 1 is Roy Krishna. The Fijian striker is one of the most prolific goal scorer we ever seen in Indian football, ISL, I-League. I think one of the best goal scorer in any league in India, in I-League, NFL days also. And it's not about just goal scoring. The kind of effort he put in that while playing, whenever he's playing, whenever chasing the ball, he'll be putting those tackles in, which I will show through my stats that he's not just a goal scorer. He provide the kind of energy and effort you need from a number 9 or a centre forward. And Roy Krishna has everything to be called as a top forward. It's not that he is physically very tall, but you will see him trying to go physical with those tall centre back, try to bully them sometime, I think it's great to have somebody like Roy Krishna. There was of course the issue with his extension. They have got it extended and he's staying with them. For ATK Mohun Bagan, his numbers, if you see, since he came to India, he's played 48 games, scored those 31 goals, provided 14 assists. So that's nearly 45 goals and assists in 48 games. I think it's a fantastic numbers for a number 9, and considering he play for a defensive ATK Mohun Bagan team, it just, if you have to feel that if ATK Mohun Bagan change the setup, be more attacking, keep the ball more, will Roy Krishna score more goals? His expected goal is just 21, and he has scored 10 more goals from those expected goals, which tell you the quality of his finishing abilities, quality of his finishing ability, what kind of quality he has. Expected assists is 10 also, so I think he got 4 more, so which tells us that he has played with some like David Williams, which he has assisted a lot, who is also a very good finisher, and he's a very good dribbler. We know this. He has attempted 131 dribbles, out of which 66% was successful. Another stat which I want to show you is the tackles. He has attempted 62 tackles, 61% success rate. So that's what I'm saying. He put that heart out in there as a number 9 forward role. Press, I think it's no comparison, but I'm a Manchester United fan and I see Cavani playing there's no comparison of the quality, but Cavani put the heart out whenever he plays in that forward role from Manchester United. I see Roy Krishna doing so. I've seen him chasing the balls, coming in the midfield, winning the ball, starting the counter-attack. So that's what Roy Krishna, it's a complete package. I think we have seen those prolific goal scorer in ISL last few seasons, Igor Ingalo, Koro, Miku, everybody. But I think you have to give a bit extra credit to Roy Krishna because of his overall play. I think it's fantastic, and he's just not a goal scorer. That's I want to say. And I think now, considering they're likely to play 4 foreigners. One will be Roy Krishna, one will be Hugo, and Johnny and Thierry. He has that burden on his shoulder now to score those majority of goal. And who will share the burden with them is an Indian striker, international Manveer Singh. It's a bit controversial, but I have said this in past, I will say again. I will love ATK Mohun Bagan to not play Manveer Singh on the right wing position. Sunil Chhetria said this something very similar in the press conference, where he said he played different role for his club, different role for his country, and it's not easy sometimes to adjust between both the roles. I think Manveer Singh this season, with David Williams likely to start on a bench, will be very important for them. Manveer Singh has scored good goals and big goals in big game last season for ATK Mohun Bagan. Mostly came from the right hand side of the right wing back role he was playing when Parveez Das was injured. But I think now this season is important for him. There was some criticism for his performance for Indian team. Fans were not happy, but I have said this, I think we don't have many number 9s in India. Manveer Singh is only few of them who is physically strong, who can play against West Asian centre back. So I think Manveer Singh performance for ATK Mohun Bagan will be important alongside Roy Krishna. Both of them need to do the majority of the goal scoring, along, of course, getting help from someone like Hugo Bumo. He's an amazing person to get help. Manveer Singh, one thing which I want to highlight, he played lots of games since 2018. If you remember, if people don't know it, he was playing Santosh Trophy for West Bengal, if I remember correctly. Playing for Mohammedan Sporting in 2nd division when Stephen Constant saw him first time and brought him from 2nd division, to Indian team, and that's what his rise is all about. And that's what I loved under what Stephen has done with the scouting system, which is not happening anymore in Indian senior team. We've only players coming from ISL system now, ISL club now. So I think that's what give you the hope for the new players playing at the lower division, that there is coaches who are watching you. I hope that will start happening again. So he has played 96 games since 2018, which are a lot of game. Of course, majority of came from bench, majority came on the wings for ATK Mohun Bagan. For FC Goa also came from majority from sub. So not number of minutes here is not equivalent to 96 games, but he has been featured in 96 games, 14 goals, 5 assists, and expected goals is 10, which tell you that he has scored 4 more goals. He is a good finisher. People feel that he's not a good finisher. He is a good finisher, but I think last season, and then coming to Indian team for the SAF Championship, he was confused because of playing different roles. Also had a 10 assists, expected assists is 4.8. And also had expected goals as a 10 and expected assists 4.8. So I think Manveer Singh performance this season will be important for not just for himself to establish at the national team, because there's a competition for the position, but for the ATK Mohun Bagan also. Third player in the list is the captain, a local Bengali player, Pritam Kotal. I love Pritam Kotal performance in the SAF Championship. Of course, he committed one mistake for that Gurpreet Singh pass which the opponent team scored, but I think Pritam Kotal has I think kind of revive himself under Antonio Lopez Hapas in that right centre back role, and then which also shown while he was playing for right back for India that he was trying to keep the ball more. I have no problem with Pritham Kotal. He's a fantastic player, played for India youth ranks. I've been seeing him since under 16 days. Only issue is sometimes that some blind crosses which he put from the right hand side, I think which has improved because he's playing out right centre back for ATK Mohun Bagan and he need to keep the ball more. He can't just put the crosses. So I think which was shown during the SAF Championship game for India. So I think Pritham Kotal can play right centre back on back three, can play centre back and can play as a right back. And he's also their captain, so that provide them. He provided them. They have lots of option in that defensive 4 or 5, whatever position, whatever formation they tried. They will play in this upcoming season. So I think Kotal performance, especially as a leader of the team, is also important to keep the team motivated. It's another bye-bye season. You need a good vocal leaders in your team. So I think Pritham Kotal will be one of those, again, important player for them to get success in this upcoming season. Talking about Pritham Kotal numbers, since 2019, he has played 64 games, lots of games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Not a bad for a defender. If he were playing right back role more, he should have more assists. Attempted 171 tackles, out of which 57% was successful. Also, he's again playing on the full back position. You need a dribbling ability, which shows in his stats. 52 attempted dribbles, 73% successful. His expected assist is 3.7, which means that he should have around 4 assists, which finisher didn't finish well. So that's the thing. These 3 players, alongside of Johnny, Hugo, and their new signings, will be important for them in the upcoming season. And now, ATK Mohun Bagan always have the best Indian players. They always get the best Indian youngsters. We have seen some like Komal Thatal, Boris not playing for them throughout these years when they were with the club, sitting on the bench, waiting for the chances to get. Now they have left the club and joined another ISL team. But of course, we can rant about that fact, but they have now signed another set of Indian youngsters, and that's the list here, young players to watch out for. And first player in the list is Deepak Tangri. Talking about Deepak Tangri impressed ATK Mohun Bagan fans during the AFC Cup games. Then he went on to do, I think, a bit better when he played for India under-23 team. He was fantastic as a centre back. Most of his ISL stats and I-League days with arrows and everything, he played as a defensive midfield. I think it's going to be interesting where Habas see him in this team. Will he see him in place of Lenny and play the number 6, or will he see him in one of those centre back roles, alongside Pritham or Thierry or Subhashis Bose? So I think we have seen in those AFC Cup games and AFC Asian Cup under 23 qualifiers also, he's very physical player and he has lots of energy, very good pace and very safe passer of the ball. I think which give them a good option to any of these. I think he will compete for number 6 alongside Lenny and maybe on the centre back position, but I will like to see him play more of the defensive midfield role. For India, if you talk about, I think India will hope that he will play on centre back position because we have lots of quality in that midfield, but we still lack those centre back. And talking about his numbers, since 2018-19, he has played 42 games in ISL and I-League, scored 1 goals, 80% passing accuracy when he attempted 965 passes, 77 tackles, out of which 55% were accurate, 50 clearance, 179 interception. Also important fact, he played for Arrows and then plays for Chennai FC and then played for ATK Mohun AFC Cup, and overall his net XJ is 2.9, so he has been part of the winning squads. Tell you that figure. Third player in the list is another exciting young players which I'm looking for this season. I think which was surprised when Liston Classo left Hyderabad to join ATK Mohun Bagan, considering that he has an offer from FC Goa and he could have come home. Could have stayed at Hyderabad, but I think Hyderabad was keen to move him because he is not much have a longer contract left. So I think they wanted to sell him. But I think I was surprised when he joined ATK Mohun Bagan. Of course, the overall offer from ATK Mohun is such a good offer that you can't reject, can't say no to it. But I think this is an important season for him. Last season, we all seen those glimpses of talent which he has, which all local Goan fans who watch local Goan, state leagues knows about. The Indian football people who are inside in the network, they knew about his talent. And one of the reason when Sajul Obera left FC Goa, one of the reason the club was not happy that Liston Classo was not fast tracked to the team. That's what we heard, but then we saw that why they were fans of FC Goa officials. They were not happy because of the kind of talent he has, and now he will going to play for kind of a title rivals for FC Goa, which is going to be not good for FC Goa, but I think important for Indian team also that he does well this season. Talking about his numbers, from 2019-20 season, he has played 38 games, 5 goals, 4 assists. Most of these games came from bench, so not equivalent to 38 games minutes, but Part of 38 games, 20 chances he created. His expected goals is 3.7. Good finisher, which tell you that his expected assist is 4.7, which tell you that finishers could have got him more assists if they've finished well. And dribbles, that's one of the important parts of the game. Attempted 160 dribbles, out of which 52% was successful. Now, another young player which I just touch upon before moving ahead, SK Sail. I think SK Sail was a fan favorite for under Kibu Hukin at Mohun Bagan. Didn't get much game time last season. Another important player who might benefit from number of foreigners getting decreased to 4. I think SK Sail, Lenny Rodriguez, Deepak Tangri will kind of competing with a one midfield position in the midfield. And I think we all know about his quality. We have seen him doing well in I-League. Another player which I want to see do well with ATK Mohun Bagan. And I hope that they give chances to these young players, because the previous history of ATK and then ATK Mohun Bagan not giving these youngsters chances is not good for Indian football. So I think now they have to give chances, because then just 4 foreigners are available in the team. Now, talking about what to expect from them this season after the embarrassing defeat in that interzonal playoff against FC Nasif, I think they will be very keen to bounce back and prove their doubters wrong and do well in this upcoming Indian Super League. I feel that they were always dependent heavily on their foreign players to get success. This season is kind of the build-up for them, maybe to accommodate more Indian players. I will not say they're title favorites, but of course the kind of quality they have in their team, even with the 4 foreigners, the Indian players they have: Aminder Singh, Indian international; Pritam Kotal, Indian international; Subhashish Bose, Indian international; Ashutosh Mehta, Indian international; Parveer Das, India junior international, might be Indian international if you are not sick. Michael Sujuraj played for India in past. Lenny Rodriguez played for India in past. Manveer Singh, Indian international. So, and then of course on bench you have Deepak Tangri, you have player like Liston Classo, who is also part of the India setup. Tell you all quality they have. So it's not that they're going to get hammered by playing with 4 foreigners. I'm only concern of mine is that they were dependent more on their foreigners in previous seasons, something like David Williams, Roy Krishna partnership. Will we see David Williams, Roy Krishna partnership, which means that you have to remove somebody like Johnny from midfield? Will they take that risk to play an Indian midfield of, say, somebody like Deepak Tangri, Lenny or Bidyananda or Deepak Tangri or SK Sahil? I think that's the decision which Antonio Lopez Havas need to take. But I personally love to see Manveer Singh playing in that upfront role, and that you will see all the important positions. They have very good backup. For Roy Krishna, they have David Williams. For Manveer Singh, they can use Liston Classo up front. For Pritam Kotal or for Subhashish Bose centre back, they have somebody like Deepak Tangri. For Bidyananda, they have in midfield, they have somebody like Carl McHugh for the role of Johnny. I think good balance in overall squad, but I personally feel that they will feel a bit more difficulties than previous season to get success this season, because there's just 4 foreigners are allowed. Now, I think they will of course challenge for the top 4 places, but they will be not my title favorite going into this season. I personally feel they might struggle in those important games, because they are always dependent on the quality of their foreigners in these big games. Their overall weakness, I think, of course, the first weakness is Sandesh Jingan leaving the club. No quality of proper centre back. Pritam Kotal is not a proper centre back. Subhashish Bose is not a proper centre back. Neither is Deepak Tangri. So I think that's one. You can see they can play in the centre back position, but they are not a natural centre back. And sometimes a full back like Pritam Kotal, Subhashish Bose, they will think like a full back in a certain situation where a centre back will think differently. That's you can ask any centre back. Their thinking towards the football match is different as compared to the full back. Also, they're heavily dependent on foreign players for scoring. We have seen Roy Krishna did in the past, Hugo, now Roy Krishna. Can Manveer Singh chip in with, say, 7 to 8 goals this season, considering if he plays in that forward role alongside Roy Krishna? Overall, I think midfield looks good, but I think other than Hugo, the creative burden, who will take the creative burden? Will Johnny have enough on his leg to provide share the creative burden from Hugo? So I think that's the important factor for the ATK Mohun Bagan coming to the season. Not much weakness, but I think enough for the other team to challenge the top 4 sport. But it's all about ATK Mohun Bagan this video. I think they will challenge for the top 4 sports and spots, and maybe they will be one of the club finish in the top 4. And I will know playoff is a kind of a lottery. But if I ask you title, I will talk about League Shield title, and I think they might not win that League Shield this time around. Last season Mumbai City won it. Season before FC Goa won it. So I think they do well in the playoffs. Of course, last season they lost against Mumbai City, but I think they can finish in top 4 and then playoffs are just like a lottery. You need to play on your best football on that day, unlike the league. So I think it's going to be good season, transition season for them, from depending on foreigners to involving the more Indian players. The acquisition of not using Indian talent might be a change after the season. If you can see the rise of these Indian players, Deepak Tangri, Liston Klaso, Bijananda Singh, Manveer Singh, they have lots of talent in their under rank, Shobhas, Michael Susiraj. So I think it's going to be interesting for them. And I hope you guys have liked this video. I will see you again in the upcoming another ISL tactical video. And do let me know your feedback if you want to change the format, if you want to remove something, if you want to add something. Of course, we have mixed it up with the stats and tactical to highlight these Indian players, to give them, to tell people on the other side of the football match. Thank you for watching. If you are not subscribed to this channel, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can watch all our videos as soon as possible. They go live. Thank you.